Silence is golden. Meditation matters. By Angelo. Chapter 5. Transcendental Meditation. Quote, "Deep within you is bliss consciousness. Life is bliss. How to explore it? Through the practice of transcendental meditation." Close quote. And that's by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Transcendental meditation (TM) close bracket, is a simple mantra-based technique that originates from the ancient Vedic tradition of India. It was revived and popularized in the 1950s by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who systemized the Vedic knowledge into an effortless meditation practice using Sanskrit mantras. The intention of the technique is to help individuals experience deeper states of consciousness and to transcend the personal mind in order to bring about stress relief and self-development. The Maharishi learned this knowledge from his guru, Swami Brahmananda Saraswati, who was the revered Shankacharya of the Jyotir Math Monastery in the Shumali district of India from 1941 to 1953. The Swami, also known as Guru Dev, was known as a living expression of Upanishadic reality and an embodiment of truth. The TM practice that emerged certainly has an impressive pedigree. Having developed the TM technique, the Maharishi devoted the rest of his life to initiating thousands of people until his death in 2008. He also developed a TM teacher program as a way of accelerating the sharing of the practice on a worldwide basis. The resulting organization is huge and covers a wide range of activities focused on peace and well-being. One further little piece of TM history that's worth mentioning is the visit by the Beatles to Rishikesh in India in 1968. The purpose of the visit was to spend time with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi at his ashram and to learn all about TM. The Beatles were at the height of their fame and success. They were in a rich vein of artistic creation, and one might say that they had achieved the dream of fame and fortune that most humans would aspire to. Despite this, they were clearly looking for something more. I find this to be very intriguing. Many of us turn to meditation due to pain and suffering, but here we have four fabulous men who had everything that life could possibly give them, yet were still searching. My understanding today is that the desire to return to higher states of consciousness is a fundamental part of human nature. The desire may seem to manifest for all manner of reasons, but the urge is actually the natural result of consciousness condensing into a limited form, but retaining the impulse to return to its higher vibrational states. The real reason that we are interested in meditation is that consciousness itself is calling us home. The actual practice of TM is incredibly simple and effective. It involves resting in a comfortable position for 20 minutes, twice per day, and silently repeating a single word Sanskrit mantra. The suggestion is to do this prior to eating a meal. Our minds will, of course, occasionally wander off, and we will get tangled up in our thoughts and forget that we're supposed to be repeating a mantra. When this happens, we simply notice and return to the mantra. Each time we notice and return to the mantra, we are practicing transcendence. Once the 20 minutes has passed, it's recommended to release the mantra and sit quietly for a further 3 minutes before resuming activity. This is all there is to it. It may seem unbelievable that such an easy practice could bring about the satisfaction of all that we desire. Yet there is plenty of anecdotal and scientific evidence to suggest that this is precisely what happens. The explanation as to why this is the case is as simple as the practice itself. According to TM teaching, the nervous system of the human body is naturally capable of sustaining higher vibrations of consciousness, but the phenomenon that prevents this from being experienced is what we know as stress. It is stress that dumbs down the nervous system to the point where we only experience the lower vibrations of consciousness. The repetitive practice of TM over time will de-stress the nervous system, and hence the higher vibrations of consciousness will become readily supported. This is the remarkably simple idea that underpins the worldwide proliferation of TM. There is a generic expectation that meditation will result in a quiet mind. Whilst this is certainly the case over time, the TM teaching tells us that this will not be the case in the short term. The human body-mind is itself an expression of consciousness, and hence the mind, body, and nervous system are all intimately connected. Stress gets trapped in the nervous system, and this manifests in all sorts of physical and mental health issues. We lead very stressful lives, and modern life in many respects is more stressful than when Vedic knowledge was first developed. This stress is captured in the nervous system in the form of metaphorical bubbles that can persist for a very long time. The TM practice is intentionally relaxing and leads to the release of stress. When these stress bubbles rise to the surface, they create movement prior to dissipating. This movement manifests in the mind as thought. Remember that the body, mind and nervous system are all connected and are effectively an individuated low vibrational manifestation of the single consciousness. This means that the release of stress can plausibly create thought activity. When this thinking occurs during our meditation, it tends to grab our attention and we forget about repeating the mantra. We then notice that we are thinking and intentionally return our focus to the mantra. This is repeated over and over again. The more we relax, the more stress is released. The more thoughts arise, the more we get distracted, the more we return to the mantra. Gradually, over time, our systems will become increasingly de-stressed and the mind will become quieter. We do, however, pick up new stresses during each day, so some mind activity and distraction will occur even after we've become seasoned practitioners. It is also worth providing an explanation for the suggestion that we practice TM prior to eating a meal. The logic is that the process of digestion creates some temporary stress in the nervous system, even though we are not consciously aware of it. Given that the intention of the TM practice is to release stress, it makes sense that it would be unwise to eat a meal and then try to meditate. Much of the session would be taken up releasing digestive stress, and hence the deeper levels of stress would not be so adequately processed. As the nervous system becomes increasingly de-stressed over time, we become more able to support higher vibrations of consciousness. This is ultimately what we desire. Hence, TM can be seen as perhaps the most effective form of meditation to adopt. It certainly seems to make sense. TM teaching describes 7 levels or states of consciousness. As previously mentioned, these states represent staging posts on a continuous spectrum of vibration, so should be understood in this context. The states are defined as follows. 1. Deep sleep. the state of unconscious rest, without awareness, thoughts, or dreams. 2. Dreaming, a subconscious state where the mind experiences internally generated imagery and sensation without external sensory input. 3. Waking, ordinary daily consciousness characterized by sensory perception and active thought. 4. Transcendental consciousness, a meditative state of pure silent awareness beyond thoughts, experienced as restful alertness. 5. Cosmic consciousness, permanent inner silence and witnessing, coexisting alongside the ordinary waking state. 6. God consciousness, refined perception and profound love, experienced as the essence within all aspects of creation. And 7. Unity consciousness, complete experiential identification with the wholeness of consciousness, dissolving all sense of separation between self and universe. These states are available to all of us because they already exist within us. TM is also sometimes known as a householder meditation technique. This term is used to describe a practice suitable for people who lead typical active lives with families, jobs, hobbies and other activities, as opposed to a lifestyle of a recluse, monk, sadhu or ascetic. Well, this is obviously good news for us. TM is designed specifically for people who want to build a meditation practice into their existing lifestyle, whatever that may be. So there we have it, a simple technique that takes just 46 minutes per day. It is easy to practice, and there are logical explanations as to how and why it works. The next step then is to explore how we actually go about getting started. The formal way to begin the practice is to engage with a qualified TM teacher. The process involves one-on-one sessions over a 4-day period, and then refresher sessions over the following months. The initial session will include a devotional puja ceremony, at the conclusion of which the teacher will provide an individual secret Sanskrit mantra to be used thereafter. The remaining sessions are used to provide guidance and teaching, and also to introduce a wealth of material from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. All that then remains is to engage in the practice twice daily. It is all very simple and easy. There is, however, a cost associated with engaging a TM teacher, and this can be off-putting or perhaps even prohibitive. In practice, there are only a limited number of individual Sanskrit mantras that are used. They are allocated by the teacher simply by reference to the age and gender of the student. There are lists of these mantras available online, and they can be found very easily. We can just select the mantra based on our age and gender and make a start. There's also plenty of free video-based teaching material by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and other TM teachers available online. There's nothing to prevent us from beginning a TM practice at zero cost, if that is our preference. Having said that, my actual experience of TM has been via the formal route. I took the view that if I was going to do this, then I would give it my best shot. I've subsequently been very impressed with the knowledge, guidance and commitment of my chosen teacher, and I'm very grateful to him. Having made a financial investment, I've found that I'm very motivated to maintain the practice. The follow-up sessions have been extremely helpful, and I've learned a great deal. There's also an exclusive app that is made available at the end of the course, which contains useful guidance material and also a meditation timer and record of sessions undertaken. I've been practicing TM for 6 months now and have not missed a single session, partly because I don't want to break the sequence on the app. I do not feel qualified to offer guidance on specific forms of meditation. Each of us is unique and we will have our own preferences. Being unique is something that we all have in common. What I can do though is share my experience. Having been meditating on a daily basis for nearly 15 years and having tried all sorts of different techniques during this time, I must say that the last 6 months of TM practice has been a game changer for me. The benefits have been tangible and numerous, and there is a real sense of making progress towards the experience of higher states of consciousness. I will be covering the undoubted benefits of meditation in a later chapter, but for now all I can say is that TM definitely delivers these benefits. There is profound wisdom in the ancient Vedic traditions. It's often tempting to believe that modernity is better than antiquity, but this is not the case when it comes to meditation. Indeed, modern humanity seems to have increasingly moved further away from higher states of consciousness rather than evolving towards them. Well, TM is just one example of repackaged Vedic wisdom, but there are many others, as we shall see.